Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we decided to go from DeBary to Meadow Woods on the CFRC just to see what we can get. You know, when you can see trains, just why not? Here in DeBary we kick things off with SunRail. Here's P306. This train caught me rather off guard. Here's Amtrak P053 southbound auto train. Listen very closely to what's heard in the background. Okay, there's too much happening.
Please remember to pay your fare before boarding SunRail. Activate mobile fares in the app, or tap on your Sun card and tap off at your final destination. Scan paper tickets.
There goes the P306 deadhead with another glimpse of the Wheeling 2906s going off at the Sanford Power Station for some kind of drill. That's at least what they were saying. Here's our train, P315 with cab car 2001. In this clip, on the ground, you will see the construction of SunRail's new maintenance of equipment building. This is being constructed due to the fact that Amtrak will no longer be providing heavy maintenance services for SunRail. They will be performed in-house by Alstom once the facility is complete. Fast forwarding to when we get down to Meadow Woods, here's CSX M457 daily mixed freight from Waycross to Taft, with CSXT 7270 in the lead, a CM44AH, and CSXT 3372 trailing an ET44AH. This is my first time seeing an ET44AH, actually. You know, I was actually really concerned that I was going to miss this train, because on P3, when we were on P315, he was already at Point Siena, but by the grace of God, he got stopped at the Point Siena holdout and we were able to see him come through here. After that 457 came EO40, an empty coal train bound for Indiana. This train was powered by your typical GEVOs, but a locomotive sandwiched in between those two GEVOs is really what caught my interest. You'll see what that is here in a second. Yup, sandwiched in between those two GEVOs was CSXT number 4740, if you want to be technical, a SD70 MACE. But just for the sake of this video, we're going to refer to it as the SD70 Mac. Well, that's what most of our fans refer to them as anyway. Now that those two trains have passed, the temperatures were increasing, so we decided to catch P360 and head back home. Here's train P316 with CFRC number 105 making a commanding presence. On our way back home, we came across another interesting locomotive in Taft Yard. Right here, you'll see an SD50-3 doing some yard switching on L721 here in Taft. That's not a locomotive you see very often, so I was quite pleased to see that. Here's a rather late Amtrak PO41 passing us near the St. Johns River. This train did have a Phase 6 charger trailing, but I was not quick enough to record it, unfortunately. Here's P316 leaving DeBary with 105 again. Very loud horn. And that is going to wrap up today's trip. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you again along the rails.